Okay, my friends, I am back with the video tutorial for layout number 3. All right, and this is the layout that I used Vellum with. And this is a really good technique to use if you want to make use of your patterned paper, but it's kind of too busy. So it's a really great way just to tone that busyness down by just laying the vellum over top of it. You want to have some bits where you can still see the patterned paper, just not all of it, because it just will be overwhelming. So, so I added the big piece here. Sorry, I forgot to turn the phone sound down. Okay, so I added a big piece here because I'm using the patterned paper as the base. And then for this side, the base is the Mulberry cardstock light side. And I'm only using it on just the left side, just smaller than half. Okay, so that is that. Now, the other thing is in my directions, I tell you to, when you're working on this and assembling it, you're just going to lay this vellum down on top of the paper, and you're going to put it about 1.5 inches from the top. All right, you just want to dry fit this. You're not using any adhesive at all right now. And once you're done putting your layout together, you're going to see exactly what I meant when I talked about adhering vellum to other papers without the adhesive showing. Okay, so you're going to start your layout like this. Now I made a mini layout, okay? So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is my base page, 12 by 12. This is my vellum piece, all right? That's slightly smaller, and you want to have that piece of your patterned paper showing up at the top here. All right, so what you're going to do first is you're going to tear the bottom edge. Now this works exactly the same way cardstock does. If you tear the right side toward you, you're going to get a slightly white edge, and that is exactly what we want. All right, so I'm just going to tear off a bit, and you want to tear off about 1/2 inch of yours. And I'm using my left hand as a guide as best I can because I don't want the tears to go all over the place. Okay, I want to keep them fairly straight. And if you look closely, you can see that there's just a bit of a white edge there. And if you turn it over, there is not a white edge at all. Okay, so I like the white edge showing. It gives it a little more definition. If you prefer not to have the white edge showing, then just use this side. Okay, so now I have bring in my base page. Okay, and I'm going to dry fit my paper on here. Okay, and I'm going to put it where I want it to be in the end, more or less. Okay, and now I've got my 2 photo mats that I'm going to use. Okay, and so here's what, oh, I guess you can't really see that, can you? Sorry. So here's what the page looks like. All right, so I've got my 2 photo mats. All right, here we go. Okay, and I'm just going to use my dry adhesive. And I'm just using scraps of paper, whatever I had. Okay, and I'm keeping the vellum sort of in the place I want it. Okay, and I'm just adding it according to the directions. I've given you the measurements in the assembly instructions. So I know this is not the way it's the measurements that you have, but it doesn't matter. Okay, the point is here is that I just want to show you about attaching this. Okay, so now we set that aside for a moment, and I'm going to bring in all of the Cricut pieces. Now, if you did not buy the Cricut bundle, all right, whatever embellishments you are going to use on your layout, okay, will work in exactly the same way. Okay, and I noted in the assembly.
I can tell you the weather and give you directions, and I can look up almost anything to help you settle a debate. I like it when everyone gets along.
Okay, that's Google for you, right? All right, they just have to stick their nose in just whenever you least expect it. Sorry. Okay, so I noted in these assembly instructions that I changed the title from the rosemary, like you see in the picture, to black. Okay, the rosemary just faded too much into the background. Didn't look great. So the black is way better. Okay, so I'm just going to sort out, get the title out of the way for the moment. Okay, and I just want to show you how I assembled these flowers. Now, they're all the same. They're different sizes. You have 3 different sizes. So you've got 3 of the large ones, and they all get stems. Okay, then you've got 2 of the mid-sized. One gets stem, one doesn't. And then you've got 4 of these little guys with no stems. Now, again, remember I showed you in a previous video about which side is the right side for the cutting. Okay, you can see on this side, all the little white pieces where the cutter changes direction. So that's the wrong side. This is the right side. See how clean it is? Okay. All right, so that is the light side. I'm just going to turn these all over to the correct side. Okay, and then you've got your centerpieces. Okay, so you've got your really big ones. These are for the large flowers. I'm just going to put that in that pile. Then you've got your 2 mid-sized ones, your medium ones. Just go in that pile. Okay, and then we've got our 4 little ones for our teeny flowers. They are a little bit hard to handle, but you will not regret creating them because they're very pretty. All right, and then, sorry, I forgot to turn that down again. Okay, I just turned the sound right off. Okay, so here's our flower centers. These are mocha. Okay, and again, you're looking for the side that doesn't have a lot of white around the edge. Okay, so there's for the 3 big flowers. And then here's for the, way over there, for the 2 mid-sized flowers. Okay, and then here's for the baby sized flowers. Okay, and then you've got 3 large stem sets, the large flowers, and 1 for the medium sized. Okay, so I'm just going to put these over to the side. Now, all the flowers are assembled the same way. So I don't need to assemble every single one. I'm just going to show you one. Okay, so now the thing is, when you look at the stems, you're going to say, well, these stems are way too small. And you're right, they are. Okay, they're very stylized flowers. Okay, I meant to have the stems a lot smaller. I want the focus to be on the flower themselves. All right, and you'll notice that you have 2 going one direction and 1 going the other direction. Did I get that? Did I say, yeah, I said that right. Okay. Okay, so here is how you're going to assemble your flower. So first you're going to, and you don't have to worry about taking that circle out if you don't want to. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. Here we go again. It's so dry here in Calgary. Glue just doesn't like it. Okay, I went around the circle. Okay, and then I'm just going to attach it right into the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my dot. Okay, and I want the dark side up. It has less white around the edge. Just put a little bit. Oh, you didn't even see me add the glue. There it is. Sorry. And then that goes right in the center of the white piece. Okay, now, because that stem is so skinny, I'm going to tell you not to attach these like this. Okay, what I want you to do is wait until you're ready to put this on your layout. You're going to attach the stem, and then you're going to attach your flower on top of that once you have this stem attached to your layout. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Okay, so that is that. It's going to look like this when it's finished, more or less. Okay. And then I want to show you one other thing that you can do. So you can take this centerpiece, if you like, and instead of using liquid glue, you can use your narrow foam tape. And I'm just cutting a small piece off. And this is my regular thickness to check. Okay, and so I'm going to put that on here instead of liquid glue. And then I'm going to add that to the center. And then, like I did with the first one, I'm going to add just a little bit of glue in the back of that. And then add that to the middle. Okay, and so then you can see you've got a little bit of depth here. Okay, so you've got two options there. One is totally flat and one is with a little bit of dimension. Okay, that's that. All the flowers go the same. Now I want to bring back our layout. Okay, and I want to show you about attaching the vellum layer to the base page. Okay, and I'm going to bring this back out just a little bit. Okay, so I've got this all done. Now I'm going to flip the whole vellum piece over and you can see exactly where the photomats are attached. I'm going to grab my adhesive and I'm going to lay it down only where the photomats are. Okay, and then in your instructions, you want to leave about 1.5 inches from the top. Okay, and you've got a border on the bottom as well from where you tore your paper. Okay, and I'm just going to rub that on to make sure that it's attached firmly. Okay, and so now your vellum is actually attached to your base page and you cannot see any glue. Now, the thing I was talking about with these flowers is you're going to have them down here like this along the bottom edge. Okay, so you're going to attach that there. I know this is totally out of proportion, but okay, I'll use the smaller stem. All right, so you're going to attach it there. Okay, and can you see how you now have it attached partly on the base, partly on the vellum? Okay, there's another anchor point for your vellum. And now you're going to take your flower, now that you've got this attached, okay, you're going to put just a little bit of glue here, right here in the center. That's all you need. And it can be a foam dot or it can be liquid glue. And you're just going to attach it to where you want it onto the stem. All right, so you're actually attaching it to the base. Okay, so that's how those flowers go, and they're going to line up right across here, the 3 bottom ones, and I will show you that in real life size, just like that. Okay, and so you can see here how you got all 3 of your stems attached to the vellum and to the base page. All right, so those are just more anchors. And you can see here how this vellum is actually attached there. Now you're also going to do the same thing with your title. Okay, you can see how the my and the place, okay, are half and half. I've got them half on the base, half on the vellum. Okay, and everywhere the adhesive touches, even on this one, along the bottom here, it anchors the vellum to the base page. Now, another place that I use that technique is with my acrylic flowers. When I put my glue dots down, I made sure I put them right on the edge of the vellum so that the acrylic flower is half on the vellum and half on the base page. So you've got lots of anchors. So I did the same thing down here. So that vellum is not going anywhere. Okay, that's it. Moving right along. Okay, I'm happy. That is the end of layout 3 video tutorial. Stay tuned for layout 4.